Welcome to another episode of Off-Road Legends. I'm Michael Van Runkle here for HotCars.com, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the most expensive Ford Bronco the world has ever seen, the former Baja 1000 race winner, Big Oly.
Well, there we have it.
Just last year, Big Oly sold for an astounding $1.7 million at Mecum auctions, plus fees. For context, that's more than 20 of the brand new Ford Bronco Raptor, which is like the most maxed out SUV the world has ever seen. So what makes Big Oly so valuable, even given today's insane collector car market? Well, we're gonna go over the build itself, the racing history, and how driver Parnelli Jones managed to take home a Baja 1000 overall win, even against the big bore dirt bikes, with, legend has it, a little help from a Volkswagen Bug, a bottle of tequila, and a torn off windshield wiper fluid hose. But for now, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Thanks. Originally intended to be named the Crazy Colt, Big Oly was renamed in honor of sponsor Olympia Beer, and the entire build catered to Parnelli Jones, an indie racer who wanted to take over Baja. He planned for builder Bill Stroppe to take over what was essentially sort of a Ford Bronco kit. So they used a Ford Bronco chassis from Ford and then put on a lightweight fiberglass body. The entire suspension was bespoke. It was nothing really like a Ford Bronco as you could buy it from the factory. So to a certain extent, calling Big Oly the most valuable Ford Bronco in the world isn't quite accurate. Yeah, it had the box frame chassis, but it also had the I-beam front suspension from a Ford truck, and the fiberglass body was 3 inches narrower than a real Bronco. The rear was a 4-length with a Prenard rod, and the entire truck only weighed 2,620 pounds. In the name of performance, they even mounted the engine air filter between the driver and co-driver in the hopes of getting less dust in there. And then the transmission and oil coolers were behind the drivers on the roll cage. That air filter then fed a custom aluminum intake manifold from a Cobra via Holley 650 double pumper carbs, had an Isky Racing cam, and custom tubular headers for the exhaust. Altogether, the power plant produced 390 horsepower, sent to the rear wheels only through Ford's C6 automatic. That V8 produced 390 horsepower, and you might be thinking, hold on, this is Baja. Don't you want 4-wheel drive? Well, as we love to talk about here at Hot Cars, the powertrain for Baja that's most ideal is actually 2-wheel drive. Well, the truth is, only one 4-wheel drive vehicle has ever taken the overall victory at Baja. And that's because 2-wheel drive is much simpler, it's lighter weight, and to a certain extent, winning Baja first requires surviving Baja, so a simpler drivetrain is more likely to be durable enough and get through one of the most grueling races in the world. It's widely regarded as the most dangerous race in North America. The route starts in Ensenada and sometimes finishes in La Paz. Sometimes it's a loop. It ranges from 850 miles to 1,700 miles, depending on the year. And you could face everything from mud to rivers to flash floods, sand, silt, snakes. You might even get a booby trap from the locals who are trying to add in a little bit of extra fun. Breakdowns are common, and unfortunately, so are fatalities. Baja Racing is estimated to have claimed over 50 lives in more than 50 years of competition. Most recently, in 2016, 3 different racers died trying to complete the Baja 1000. That's insane in the modern era when we have halos for Formula One and roll cages and airbag vests that can protect everyone from just about any collision. But Baja is all about man versus nature, man with machine versus nature, and it takes a certain amount of luck to finish, much less come home with a win. Parnelli Jones managed to finish first in Big Oly and take home another win in 1973, as well as competing it and winning the Mint 473. That contributes to Big Oly's overall value. But there is also sort of a mythical status. Parnelli Jones faced his first classic Baja moment in that first race, when legend has it that he ran out of gas only 15 miles from the finish line. Now imagine, you've been racing for somewhere around 1,000 miles, plus or minus. You're on the ragged edge, you're exhausted, the truck is all beat up, and then you think you've got enough gas to get to the finish line and you run out. So the story goes that he had to borrow gas from a couple in a Volkswagen Bug, and to get that gas out of the Bug, he used a tequila bottle and siphoned it out using a windshield wiper hose that he tore off of Big Oly, and got just enough gas to make it to the finish line. How much tequila was possibly powering that Windsor V8, we'll never know. But that just adds to the legendary mythical status that then adds to Big Oly's insane $1.7 million auction value. The question is, what do you do with a $1.7 million Ford Bronco? Well, I've actually run into Big Oly a few times at Cars and Coffee meets in LA. But perhaps more ominously, the owner took Big Oly and entered it in the vintage racing at the Baja 1000 this year. In May of 2022, photos emerged online of Big Oly flipped over on its roof. Ouch. That hurts, but at the very least, with a value of $1.7 million, you know that it's worth restoring and getting back into running shape. Plus, Baja always throws stuff at the racers, and Bill Stroppe built Big Oly for the express purpose of surviving one of the most grueling races in the world. It's still not great to see one of the most famous cars in the world on its roof, but hey, we've all been there, haven't we? That's the story of Big Oly. We'll see where it shows up next, and who's driving it, and how much damage that roof endured. In the meantime, let us know in the comments what other vehicles you want to learn about here on Off-Road Legends. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Thanks.